Hello, my friends. Yesterday I got it in my head that I thought it would be really fun to do a big getting out of my comfort zone makeup look and take your requests for what I would do. And now I'm really scared. I'm up here to do the look and there are so many things. Like, I went through your responses. I tried to compile some of the things that I was seeing repeatedly or the things that just really stood out to me in general. And man, you guys weren't holding back. Scariest one said no blush. I'm like, I gotta set boundaries and, draw the line somewhere. But I was thinking, should I let you guys know the entire game plan before I start, or should I just reveal as I go? I think I'm just gonna reveal it as I go. Here's the first one. Use the Beauty Blender dry. I enjoy it with the Wet n Wild Dewy Foundation, says Audrey. Okay, Audrey. I've got the Dewy Foundation. I recently used this, thought it was beautiful on my skin, and now I gotta find, okay, here's my dry beauty blender. I swear it is semi-clean, and we'll just try that out then. I've got all my skincare on, so I'll just dab this on. I don't think I've ever used my beauty blender dry. I mean, there were days where we all used those little white wedge sponges without adding any water to them, but now we're gonna, okay. Alright, I'm just gonna... This feels very strange and very firm. It's doing it. It's doing it. It's functioning. There's just not as much squish. Some areas, like around the nose, I feel like it's working against my coverage just a little bit. But out in here, like the sides of the face, it almost looks more glowy than it did when I used a brush or just a regular beauty blender. Dampened. Does anybody use their beauty blender dry? Is this a regular practice for a lot of people? Wow. You really feel like you're hitting yourself in the head when you're doing it this way. It's okay, it's extra early today because I thought this look might take me extra long, so I got up at 4:30, so I need to wake up. Okay, this was completely out of my comfort zone because it feels very strange, but I gotta say it did blend in the makeup. I'm not sure... I'm convinced that it's better than using it dampened, and especially I'm trying to kind of get that area where you get down to your jawline, and just the size and the lack of bounce that this has at this point in time. It's kind of hard to blend over the larger surface areas. It takes longer, I'll put it that way. But there we go, there's our foundation. I should say that maybe an overall vision that I'm getting for this look, because it was said so many times, was dark and vampy and a goth look. That came up a lot, so gotta start somewhere, so thank you for that. And it's interesting because in getting out of my comfort zone, I had some people saying the most minimal makeup look ever, 5 product look, barely their makeup. There were some requests that went in that supernatural direction. I would say most responses went in the more dramatic, over the top type of instruction. But to me, thinking about what personally feels in or out of my comfort zone, it feels much more in my comfort zone to do something barely there, something light. I mean, I just feel like I've done those kinds of no makeup sorts of things more often. But one of the things on the face that they said I should do is a very over-the-top contour, a really cream contour, Kardashian-like contour. So I feel like I need a pretty light concealer to contrast with. This is my Beauty Double Take Sculpt and Strobe stick. I think I'm going to do the concealer first and just get that blended in, and then do a very intense contour. But yeah, this is my Tarte Shape Tape in Light. I think it's one of my lighter concealers that I have, and definitely one of my fullest coverage. So I'll just put that over the areas where I'm going to brighten. I know this looks pretty typical for me, but hopefully it will make just a super bright zone here in my under eye area. I mean, I like that area to be bright, but I don't always pull in the lightest concealer that I could. So we're getting that real bright. Add a little coverage around the nose, which I felt like the dry beauty blender didn't do so well around my nose. It was the product just wasn't clinging in there as well. But hey, if it's working for you, you do your thing. And maybe she used a different sponge, like she said beauty blender, but she didn't literally mean the beauty blender, so maybe she used a different sponge that did it a little better than that. But it wasn't terrible. I gotta say, I was scared that it was gonna be a little bit rougher than that. So there's our super light concealer there. Maybe I should like bake it or something. I'll just grab another dry sponge and get some of my, this is my Believe Beauty loose powder. And I'll really go hard on this. Baking the under eye. Haven't done this like super full on in a while. So how are you guys today? What are you doing with your makeup look? Anybody else getting inspired to go out of their comfort zone? I'm trying here. Okay, so this is just the translucent powder from Believe Beauty. That's the Dollar General brand if you haven't seen my recent videos where I've talked about it. And as that bakes, I can start blending in a very intense contour here. So this is from, like that I said, that brand Beauty. I got this at Ulta, and this is a pretty intense contour. And let's be mindful of where we're putting this. Maybe not too low. Okay. Okay. I never really do anything to my nose because I always feel like any nose contour, like I got a little bone right here. And if I contour the nose, it sort of accentuates that. But maybe I'm not really trying if I don't give myself like a little, I could contour that part maybe. I don't know. And then I will just use this brush, this Sigma brush. Oh, this is rich. This is dark. Contrast. Oh my word. And then the worry sets in. No, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be wonderful. Okay, I'm just buffing this in. It's really creamy, so it is not hard to blend. I do really like this product. I just don't think I've ever applied this much of it. I'm trying not to let that drop down too low. And if there's anything else on the brush, maybe we hit the jaw at that point. With you guys wanting this intense contour and with it looking so bronzy, I don't think I'm going to be achieving any true goth thing today, but we will be shooting for dark and vampy, just overall. Okay, so I got that blended in there. Now the dang nose. Just using that same brush. Kind of move that product around a bit. Yeah, it feels strange. What did that do for me? Did that do anything for my nose? What I now need to do is probably do a little more concealer. Now the light end of this stick is like a golden highlight, so we're not quite ready for that. Just a little bit here. Sorry, I feel like I'm not narrating this look as well because I really feel like I'm feeling through the dark or something. Brighten that up again. My gosh. I just never ever deal with contouring my nose. To be honest with you, nobody even told me to. You just said Kardashian-like contouring, which I guess does involve the nose, but nobody specifically told me to do this. I'm putting this on myself. It looks bigger. Okay, I got an idea. We'll use a little powder to take it in. I asked to get out of my comfort zone. What I didn't really expect was to need to get out of my comfort zone in about 5 different ways or 7 different ways in one video. Okay, this is a little bit of Milani bronzer, and I'm just gonna kind of use that to edge in on, I don't even know. And I'm gonna dust away this baked stuff here. We should be nice and bright. We are. Look at me. I'm really contoured. Anything else on the brush? I'll just kind of, I don't know. Let's go into nose. No blush. We got some comedians in the audience. I did see some requests for different placement of blush, so I thought maybe we could try that. I feel like maybe this Clinique, even though like this is a very loved shade of mine, if I use it in a little different placement, maybe, you know, that'll qualify for going out of my comfort zone. I just feel like this shade is going to be kind of pretty alongside the way the eye is going to end up. Let's just go into this a little, and maybe let's take it like really higher and not even down to the apple at all. Like just way up in here. Oh. What's supposed to be the benefit of this? It's fine. It just feels like apples on my cheeks are like, hey, up there. Like, I guess this is for the people sitting on the sides of me. Not much blush for the person sitting right in front, but woo! Trying to get that like all blended in with the contour kind of. Then for the highlight, I'm gonna go pretty bright with it. I'm gonna use my e.l.f. Jelly highlight here. Just dab some of that like right up in here, maybe. I'm trying to just go higher with everything. So I feel like nobody wants anything on the apples of the cheek. Like if it's on the apple of the cheek, you're done. See, it's right up in there. Okay, right over here. Okay, so we got our glow going out there. Maybe we just take a little bit right down the center here of the nose. And then don't people do that? Rudolph it. The reverse Rudolph. So here's where we're at, my friends. We've got the blush, we've got the intense contour, we've changed the placement of the blush, we applied the, not blended, we applied the foundation with a dry beauty blender, went ultra light with the concealer, and now we're just gonna set that. And I feel like what some of you are asking for brow-wise is sort of a fluffier brow, maybe even more of a combed up, brushed up brow. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'll first use the Benefit Micro Filling Pen, and I'll just get my overall fill in with that. And then I'll take my Brow Fast Sculpt, because that has enough hold to really like keep the brow hairs wherever you wanna put them. And I'll brush up with that. I'll try to do something a little more fluffy for you. I'm going to take more the bare side, so there's like longer bristles and shorter bristles. Shorter bristles apply more product, longer bristles rake it through. So I use the longer side and just kind of like ruffle the feathers a bit. Wow, realize just how long my brow hairs are. Like I need to give them a little trim or something before I full on try to do that. Okay, I feel like kind of a beast now, okay. Questions, comments, concerns? I have a lot of them. I got them fluffed up. I feel like I have man brows. Do I have to do this? For the eyes, a lot of you said don't use Milani eyeshadow primer. Okay, I'll use this e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer. How about that? And we are going to be doing a blue eye, a very bold blue eye. And we are going to also be doing some kind of cut crease. It's probably going to be varying tones of blue, just blue on blue. And other things that you said to do were a very extended outer V. Somebody again said, love the reverse cat eye you did, would love to see you try a cut crease or a different shape. And then of course the blue eyeshadow was the main request by far. And I have been officially prohibited from using anything rosy, mauvey, or berry. But there are some really pretty blues in this Temptalia Sydney Grace palette, the Radiant Reflection. Radiant Reflection, the light version here. So I'm gonna work with that. I'm gonna begin by doing some crease work with this shade called Gloss Over. So this is a really pretty shimmery blue. And I'm gonna like get a crease going, and then I'm gonna sort of swipe away and attempt the cut crease. So this is really pretty. This has a shimmer. Oh wow, that's stunning. I may turn into a blue eyeshadow girl after all. Look how easily it's just laying down. This is a super pretty color. Like, I am so impressed at how easily I am working with it too. Like, wow, I'm just taking it out now. I'm really filling the space. Okay, that's real pretty. I really, really like that. Now we have Forget Her Not right here. So this is a deeper blue. It's reaching for purple, you know, like I hope you guys don't think, oh, she pulled in purple, but to me, in with this other blue, like look how it just looks like more of a deeper pure blue actually. This is such a pretty palette though. I've used some of the like more rosy tones on, I think it was on Instagram. I don't think I was shooting a video that day. It turned out really nice. And these shimmery tones just work together so well. And now I'm going to take my Vaseline here, and I'm going to take a flat brush with it, and I'm going to just use this to like clean an edge off a little bit. Forgive me if I'm doing this wrong. I'm really just trying my best. Doing a little cleanup aisle 5 right now. Ridding that lid space of product, but letting everything else stay. The reason the stick is nice, like you get very little, like the minimal amount on your brush, and you're able to go across it really easily. Then I'll take a really like strong base here. This is my Believe Beauty Lock It In eyeshadow primer. Put a little bit of that on my hand so I can get this on with some control. Flat brush again. And we just want that to be very like defined line kind of here, right? I mean, you guys tell me, I don't know, I never do this. I think I just cut it. And then we'll put on like a very contrasting silvery blue maybe or something. And then I can kind of adjust the shades looking how I want around it. Bear with me, gang. She cut her crease. I kind of want to stick with this one palette. I was going to grab something from another one. But like there's a really pretty light shimmery shade here that would cut that crease well. I mean, I don't know about this, if the texture would stand out as much as a cut crease there. Yeah, I think it would blend too much with the blue tones that I already have. So I need something for contrast. So that's what we're gonna do. This Phosphines shade. And we're just patting it right on there. Hope it's light enough. So much shimmer. I'm wondering if you can even see how I cut my crease well enough, but I tried. Then I want some of this Forget Her Not right out here because I think it kind of needs to merge somewhat. I don't need the entire crease to be cut. Just following my instincts at this point, friends. But still sticking with blue eyeshadow, so not totally. And I really want to get a little darkness in there too, so just like right here. These shades are a dream to work with, I will say that. If you're trying to get out of your comfort zone and maybe actually be able to pull it off, like, wow. Then I'm feeling the need to go fully under the eye. We're using Forget Her Not again. So outside, lower lash line. And then let's go in with some gloss over. So that was the first blue. And then I'm thinking maybe blue waterline as well. I'm a little worried about my battery running out like it did, but I bought new batteries and I just forgot to charge them up. When I realized that they were lasting so much longer than my old ones, I kind of slacked on actually charging them up each time. I've got this Revlon Color Stay Sapphire Blue eyeliner, so we'll just pop that right in here. I am going to be putting on a lash with this look. Just for the glamness of it all, you know, it just feels right. So therefore I am going to have some eyeliner. I don't think I'm going to do a big wing because doing a wing feels a little bit more like, I don't know, classic me. Ooh, I do have a little fallout. I'm just going to let the shadow be my wings and I'll just do just a tight line here. Some people said neon eyeliner or just neon in general with the look, but I still think blue got probably more votes. So that's where we're at here. Maybe another time I can give you a neon look. Because I do have a couple of Huda Neon palettes that are really pretty. I ain't scared. Here's the eye. I really feel out of my comfort zone. This is huge. I love the lash. This is my Koko lash in Soho, so one of my favorites, but just all that blue back behind and just the size and scope of that blue really seems like a lot to me. Now, I was told to do a black lip or just a really dark vampy lip, so I'm gonna try to do that. I was looking for a black lipstick and I know at one time I had one, but I don't anymore, but I have this black cream from NYX here. This is actually an eyeshadow base. And I found like a really dark gloss here from Milani called Fishnet Tights. So what I'm actually gonna do is take a little gloss just to kind of get my lips prepped a bit. Just smooth that around. And then using this little detail brush from e.l.f., I'm gonna take the black and just get it on there. Family's gonna wake up and be like, what? Okay, so there's my black. Yeah, she ain't subtle today. This is true though. I never wear black lipstick, so it's out of my comfort zone. And that blue eye is really taking my beast brows down a notch in your mind, isn't it? It's like, well, I guess those aren't so big considering you've got this huge blue eyeshadow look. In case anyone was wondering, it takes a long time to paint your lips with black eye primer. Did anybody suddenly feel like the whole thing just came together? See how I'm kind of leaving it just a little bit like, almost like sheer black right in the middle? Something about that just feels right. I would totally be adding more blush at this point on a random day, but to stay out of my comfort zone, I'm not gonna add more blush. Who am I? Who is this girl on the camera? All I'm doing now at this point, I'm seeing the bronzer or the contour line up here. Not really the line of it, but like just the tone. And I'm taking a little bit of my Laura Geller Double Take powder foundation and just dabbing over it just to like kind of soften it a bit more. Because it's so warm, and then everything else, like the eye, is super cool. Okay guys, so here we are. It's just a standard Thursday. Cut crease, blue, fluffed up brows, black lip, heavy contour, and perhaps the most shocking thing of all, a dry beauty blender. Thank you guys so much for having some fun with me and suggesting some of these different ways to get out of my comfort zone. Obviously I know what's out of my comfort zone as well, but hearing it from you is kind of more fun to take your tips and your ideas for what you would like to see. So what would make a comeback? What techniques would I keep doing? Actually, with the finished eye in place, I don't mind my fluffed up brow. And I love that palette. That Temptalia Sydney Grace palette is gorgeous, and it made the blue so simple. Like, have you ever seen a blue go on more easily than when I just started taking that initial color and going back and forth, and it was just like laying down with perfection exactly where I wanted it, and seeing the sheen of that blue. And then, you know, I feel like my cut crease, I could have reached for a color that would have been a little more contrast, just even brighter, and maybe executed it in a little more clean way. But I can probably count on one hand the amount of times I've done a legit cut crease, so I'm not real accustomed to it. But I like the dark lip. I really do. So thanks again, everyone. Thanks for bearing with me through this as I struggled through some techniques. The heavy contour, I mean, I don't know. I think it would have made more sense in the end look if I had opted for something warmer on the eye, you know, because the contour shade was so bronzy and really had a lot of warmth to it. And alongside this blue eye and this dark lip, it didn't quite jive at the end. But all in all, that is a very good product from Mama Beauty. So anyway, I'm just gonna go about my business today. Have a great day, everyone. I love you. I'll see you soon. Bye.